Baseball players from Cuba are getting a lot of attention at the Pan Am Games in Winnipeg. Sure, they're good, and that's why so many fans want to watch, but there are others hanging around with a different agenda. They see stars of the future and money in the bank. CBC's Red Sharon explains.
They can pitch, they can run, and they can hit. Cuba's national sport is baseball, and it has some of the best players in the world. They know it, and so do guys like sports agent Gus Dominguez, formerly of Cuba, now Los Angeles. The sport may be baseball, but at this practice today, he's actually fishing for defectors.
In today's market, I would imagine they're the most valuable players around, amateur players around.
Valuable if they defect, and an agent like Gus here can sign them. While he's reluctant to talk about it, we're talking serious money.
Lots of money?
There's lots of money. Lots of money.
How much money?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But
$1 million?
Well, it certainly may start at $1 million. It may go up to, in some cases, there may be a market of 10 or 15 million for some of these guys.
His cut, 4% of $15 million, could be as much as $600,000 U.S. just for signing one player. In the last 6 years, Dominguez says he's signed 18 players, and given the economic circumstance Cuba finds itself in, he says there will be more. This has become a familiar image. Cuban refugees desperate to escape systemic poverty. Poverty that got worse with the collapse of the Soviet bloc, when financial support to Fidel Castro and his communist regime disappeared. When the world's best have to play in ballparks like this, the big leagues start to look pretty good.
For most of these guys, the whole thing about defecting is about playing the major leagues. It's a dream. This is, the major leagues is where the best baseball is played, and they just want to get there and see if they can play that type of baseball.
So, everywhere this team goes, the agents are nearby, watching and waiting. The coach sends a message through the interpreter.
He just says, I know they're around, we know them by faces, some of them, we don't like them, we'd like to keep them away, and we'd like them to be away and from the sight of our players.
And when a player is asked about defection during an interview,
They don't really pay any attention to these people who are here trying to get them to play in their teams.
Suddenly, the interview is over.
He wants to go.
Dominguez says he can understand the coach's frustration. While he waits for players to approach him, he says other agents are pretty persistent.
Other agents, high pressure, and that's what they don't like. That they come in here and just put the pressure on the guys to do something. We sit back and we relax. They want to get in contact with us. They certainly have a way to do so.
Everybody has a different way to fish.
Absolutely.
And he says it may not happen today or tomorrow, but eventually he'll reel in another big one. Red Sharon, CBC News.